Heinz also try to find. I don't know what is it. Like, what do you smoke?
I don't know. Oh my god. Okay.
I don't even want to say it now.
No, I don't know.
I don't even want to talk.
I'm Wiza.
I'm Nada.
This is the Two Keys in a Podcast.
Is that lame? I feel like that was lame as fuck. Welcome back to the Two Keys in a Podcast. Wiza and I had an absolutely devastating last few days. Do you want to get into it?
I'll allow you.
So we record our episodes on Fridays, and we recorded our episode on Friday as per usual, and all of our footage for some reason ended up in slow-mo, and then one of our mic audios didn't pick up at all, so we stood no chance at editing that. So here we are recording a completely new episode.
Can I just say the episode that we scrapped was so iconic.
It was really good.
It was so good.
Yeah.
So you guys are just going to have to live with that misery, as will we.
Yeah.
But it's okay. New day, new us. Like, it's okay. We can do this. Like, it's just like recording a new episode. Like, whatever. It's just, you guys didn't see one.
Yeah, we didn't lose an hour and a half of our lives for nothing.
Okay. Moving on.
Moving on.
That's really sad.
Yeah, it is really sad.
On the plus side, it was a beautiful week.
It was like an absolutely stunning week.
Like the last week and a half has been like so nice.
I can't even complain at all.
We took a walk.
Yeah.
We took a fucking walk.
Like I texted Wiza probably a while ago and I was like, we should go for like just, hot girl walks.
Because the thing is, we both live like on the river.
Mm-hmm.
So, and since I like moved into my condo, it hasn't been nice enough to take a walk. Mm-hmm. So it finally was, and we did it.
You loved it.
I loved it.
Yeah.
Oh my God. I have an exciting update, you guys.
Yeah.
I'm an auntie.
Oh my God.
I'm an auntie. My best friend Kenzie gave birth the
Kenzie.
other day. I woke up to a text from her at like 5 a.m. being like, I'm a mom, ?
Oh my God.
With a picture of her precious little jewel.
Mm-hmm.
No, it's so crazy how like the thing about me is that I'm the youngest person in my family.
Mm-hmm.
As well as I don't have nieces and nephews. Like my brothers don't have kids. And even like the younger, like my younger like cousins and anybody else who would be younger than me, like they all live back in Africa. So I'm basically like the youngest person in my family that is like always around. So I've never really like had to have like a child.
Like interactions with
you know
kids.
What I'm saying? Like that I like I'm this close to.
I hear you.
So yeah, that's exciting.
That's exciting. I'm around kids like all the time because my side of the family is really small, but like Ryan's side of the family is massive. And like there's like 8 little kids that run around at like every family function. And like I don't know how to interact with kids.
Yeah,
like
I was literally just gonna say that's like kind of my worst nightmare.
I don't know what to do. Like I hate baby talk. I hate like they're sticky. I'm so sorry.
Stop.
This is so bad. But I have so much respect for parents, like for that reason alone, is like the fact that like you literally just brought a human being into this world
it's
that
so
like
crazy.
you carried in your body.
No, it's so crazy.
Which is just so insane. And
one of the things that me and Nada have in common is that neither of us are really crazy about the idea of like having children.
It's like multifaceted too. Like it just is, because I have like some stuff in my family that I don't want to pass along. And like also I am so just like the idea of like, even like just talking about it makes me unwell. Like having to carry like a human being inside and it like grows and then you have to push it out. Like that is truly my biggest fear in life. So I have so much respect.
I think for me, because like I just explained, I'm like the youngest person in my family. And I don't really have younger people to give a shit about. I've certainly developed this like self-absorbed lifestyle.
That's so funny.
And persona.
At least you're self-aware.
You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. I just think the idea of having a child, like I'm sure I would love it if I had one. But it just seems so like out of the norm to me.
Yeah, it like becomes the center of your universe. And like next thing you know, you got to make sure it's not like
it's eating.
Yeah, like it's eating. It's not like trying to jump off a balcony.
No,
like
for
it's not
sure.
trying to like put its hand on the stove. Like it's just It's a crazy, crazy thing.
Also, I feel like the world is like low key collapsing.
Yeah.
So, I don't know.
Yeah. And just like speaking of like family in general, I come from like a really weird family where like my mom's been divorced twice. Like my dad's like on his third marriage. I have a half sister who lives in Chicago that's like in her 40s.
Really?
And like, oh yeah. And I have 2 step siblings that are all older than me. So I'm the youngest too. But like, I think coming from like a family where like it's kind of like a little bit messed up, it's just even hard for me to envision like being able to do it right. That's so sad.
We have trauma.
We have trauma.
It's okay.
Yeah. It made us like this.
Remember
What?
remember when I Googled what Nada meant and it said nothing?
Oh my God.
So the other day, I don't know why I like forgot that nada means like zero. Like, you know how it's
Means
like another word for that
in Spanish, yeah.
So I like asked ChatGPT. I was like, what does nada mean? Like so randomly, and we were on FaceTime and I just started bursting out laughing because it means nothing. But there's another meaning for it, isn't there?
Well, yeah. It's so funny because like I'm Serbian, but like there's not that many Serbians, right? So like my name in my language means hope. So that's what it's supposed to mean. But literally in Spanish, it translates to nothing. So,
Which is so sad.
When I go to Mexico, it's really interesting actually. But my clients like think Nada's short for something all of the time. So like I have clients that like will think my name's like Nadia. They'll think it's Natalie. Like they'll think that I just abbreviate it. So like, and my worst trait is that I won't correct you if you get my name wrong. Like if you call me Nadia, I have clients that still call me Nadia.
That's so nuts.
If you call me Nadia, if you say Nada, like I'll just let you say it forever because I'm not one of those people who care. Like if you get their name wrong. I'm kind of
one of those people. I'm just like, everyone thinks my name is Lisa.
That's
like,
crazy.
What up?
Yeah.
Or if they just hear it, not like read it.
That makes sense.
Want to know what my name means?
What?
She is here.
She is here.
Yeah, I guess like I just like came out the womb and was just she's here.
I love that.
Mm-hmm.
That's a really good name meaning.
Yeah, fun fact. Should we talk about Love is Blind?
Oh my God, I would love to talk about Love is Blind.
So me and Nada, like, I think we explained this on our last podcast a little bit, but like we watch different shows.
Yeah.
Our show tastes aren't very similar, but Love is Blind is certainly like one of the...
It is the one thing that like we can both watch and connect on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's in the center of the Venn diagram. So we're going to recap it a little bit. As it stands, we've seen up to episode 9.
Yeah. I'm like at like just the wedding, like just right before the weddings.
Oh, really?
I don't know what episode that is. Yeah. I watched it to like catch up for you because I thought you would be like so
No,
on
you know
it.
what happened? I still have my brother's Netflix account. So last night, it gets mad at me like periodically, but now it's certainly getting a lot more frequent. And last night it was just like, no, you really need to be in the household. But I got it extended again. So
nice.
We'll see.
So you'll catch
I'll
up.
probably watch the rest of them tonight, to be honest. But I'm so sorry I didn't catch up to where you're at.
That's okay. I'll try not to like spoil it then.
Okay, please.
Yeah.
Because where I'm at,
Also,
Ben,
this is a spoiler alert.
yeah,
Like we
for
should
sure,
say that.
please.
Yeah.
Ben and Sarah are like kind of fighting because of the girl on TikTok.
Yeah.
First of all, I just want to talk about this season in general for one second, please. It is an absolute snooze fest.
I hear you.
Am I like... So whenever I have like a really strong opinion about like something that I watch on reality TV or whatever, I do this thing where I have got to go on Twitter or TikTok, search up the you know hashtag, see if like other people feel the same way as me. And there were 2 main things that I took away from the season that I had to see if people agreed with me on. Number 1, boring. Number 2, everybody looks the fucking same. Like,
Oh yeah.
every single guy. It literally took me until maybe episode 4 to realize that Alex and Mason were 2 different people. Swear to God.
That's so funny. All the guys look the same. Like the girls, like yeah, they look different. Kind of maybe a little similar.
No, they look like...
Okay, but compared to the guys, like they're
No,
all
for
like
sure.
brunette white dudes. Like they just all look the same. Like
I mean, like they're all like really nice. Like I mean, all the girlies out there. If that's not your type, like the Minnesotian like short king, like maybe switch it up because they're all like super sweet. Which is why this season is so boring. Like
I know
the
there's
worst
no
thing
villain.
about the worst guy on this season is Dave.
Dave for sure.
But even him, like he's not really doing it for me as a villain. Like he's certainly
No.
like a douchebag.
Yeah.
He's definitely, you know, cringy, says the same jokes a million times and thinks he's like 20% funnier than he actually is.
Yeah. But we need someone like erratic, someone who like goes crazy when they see like their other pod person that they were with.
That's
like,
what I need.
Like, you know, like
Yeah.
there has to be that. There's just the villain is not villaining.
Yeah,
Like,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like the fact that that's like all we're working with, like it's like, yeah, he's, you know, he's a misogynist. He's definitely a prick, but it's just like, I'm bored.
We run into misogynists all the time. Like that's just a staple.
Please, like. So, anyways, I guess we can just like get into it a little bit at the very least.
Yeah.
Since we're watching it.
Definitely.
What do you think of Dave?
Well, he's obviously a misogynist. Like I don't like obviously he makes that big stink about like Lauren and his sister and his family with that guy. And like but for sure though, he was trying to like just get out of the relationship almost. Like I feel like that was like his fail safe so that like he didn't have to take accountability.
Yeah.
But like without a doubt, I think he totally blew it out of the water because it wasn't that serious.
Well, of course. Like, who gives a shit? She didn't know you existed.
Oh my
God. I get
God.
that she was like applying for the show, but like even last episode when I was talking about how like I never care when girls go on these shows just for a little bit of clout with the intent, like they're still open. Like I think it's really corny if you go on one of these shows with a whole boyfriend or girlfriend. But like, she's just having a little bit of fun, and now she's on Love Is Blind, and now she's engaged.
Yeah. Well, and I think that guy is like clout chasing too. Like if he's gonna try and make it like a big thing and like with their friends or whatever,
the
like,
guy who she was hooking up with.
Yeah,
for
sure.
Like
he's obviously
a
just
loser,
clout
for sure.
chasing. Like,
that's
his
a given.
one claim to fame. Like
I think Dave is just a bad breaker upper.
Yeah.
Like he's just like, he did the same thing with Molly in the pods when he was just like, she literally had to be like, so are you choosing Lauren? Are you breaking up with me? Or are you just trying to make me break up with you by being insufferable? Because like, that's what he's doing to Lauren now. Like he won't get over it.
Yeah.
And it's honestly, if he were to just be like, honestly, I can't get over the fact that you hooked up with a guy 4 months before I met you.
That's so
I wouldn't
wild.
even, totally, I'd be like,
so
valid, whatever. Like, the thing is, he is literally not getting over it, but also not doing anything. It's like, okay, like what? Okay, so now what? Like,
no, and like good on Molly for calling him out in the pods because she saw right through it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, and Lauren's just like being like a little bit too nice. Like she should almost like put him in his place a little bit more and be like what the fuck are you saying? You know,
Lauren, is that who you're talking about?
Yeah.
Being too nice? Yeah, I think Lauren, she's definitely. I can see her like coming out of her shell a little bit, especially with how upset he's making her. Like she'll cry and he just looks at her. Like it's just so weird. Anyways, those two definitely are not made for each other.
What about Madison? What do you think about Madison?
She's definitely a master manipulator.
I think so too.
Yeah.
I'm an avoidant and you're an avoidant too. So we're allowed to have like the biggest opinion on her.
Yeah, no, for
without
sure.
a doubt.
Yeah, no, I saw exactly what she was doing. She had no room to get mad at Mason.
It was hypocritical.
It was.
Yeah.
And you know what? Like this happens every single season where there's a love triangle. The love triangle obviously comes to an end because someone has to be chosen. But I think it's very much like common knowledge in the pods or whatever amongst every cast that like we're just gonna move on now, like, you know. But she just like wouldn't let Mason move on to the point where she went to Molly behind his back and was just like, yeah, he's just like doesn't know what he wants. Like he was like shitting on his name to Molly.
Yeah.
It's like, let her figure that out. You know what I mean? Especially if you guys are going to come to this like group decision. Because do you notice how this season, it feels like they came to a
I know what you're talking about.
That they're like not going to talk about who they're dating. Which, by the way, I thought was so irritating.
Oh yeah,
that's where the drama comes from.
For
like
sure.
Why? Like I need the producers to put their foot down next season and just be like, hello, like you guys, like the guys were definitely keeping it much more hush hush and like we're better at that than the girls. The girls girls are just gossipy, so we always let it slip. But I hated the fact that they were like trying to be all high and mighty and not even tell each other like how many people they were dating. I remember there was like a scene with Mason and Madison, her being like, oh, like I forget what it was, but she didn't even know how many people like he was dating.
Yeah.
I was like, can we not be open about that? What's wrong with that?
Yeah. No, I totally agree with that.
it just makes it boring.
No, it does for sure. Yeah. And that's like the common theme is like I can tell if a show is boring if I need to like multitask while watching it.
For sure.
And I was constantly multitasking.
Like,
I was cleaning my kitchen and like
vacuuming my like bathroom rug. Like, please get me out of here. On that point though, the best seasons are the ones with love triangles that make it past the engagement.
1000%.
I was so horrified when Mason, Madison, Molly, and Meg all went home because I'm just like, that was it.
That was it. Walking away.
It was literally the same thing last season. Remember Leo and Brittany and how they didn't let them go, like they didn't film them or something like that?
I like almost didn't believe it. Like I was on Google like, how is this happening? Like, why are they not going through? Like,
who made that executive decision?
No,
I also need to know who made the executive decision to have 6 episodes of pods. Diabolical, Netflix.
Jail time.
Never again. I literally found myself falling asleep on episode 3. Like, please get me out of here.
That's so crazy. You know what I want to do next season?
What?
I've seen people on TikTok, like for the pod episodes, like cover their TV screen and just listen. And then you can pretend and like see who you would pick. I think that would be so awesome.
Who would you pick?
Me, I probably, out of all the guys, I love a good golden retriever. Like if you know Ryan, my boyfriend, like he is the biggest golden retriever on the planet.
Let me guess.
Yeah.
Alex.
Alex the king. My second would probably be like Mason, though. I don't know, like
really, you really are Madison.
It would just.
You need a sweet boy to manipulate. No, I'm kidding.
So funny. I love good boys. I've never liked bad boys, so like that's definitely my type. Is just like an all around like good guy who can make me less toxic.
Alex.
Yeah. But have you heard about the, I guess I'll say allegations against Alex? Like nothing's really
against
proven.
Alex?
Against Alex.
You're lying to my face.
I'm not even. Apparently when he was like in his, I say apparently, but when he was in his 20s, he would like throw parties and like invite a bunch of like high school, like underage girls. So like there's some allegations there about like him and minors. Unconfirmed. A minor? Yeah.
I'm kidding. Wait, no, that is so unbelievable about my sweet boy Alex.
I know. And that's where like Love is Blind gets so tricky now because like I think people care so much about their image going into it. Like no one wants to be portrayed as the villain. So I feel like people are
so true.
Definitely putting up a front.
If you are going to go on this show or any show, you better make sure that your past is squeaky clean.
Absolutely.
Because it just always comes out. Like, it just always comes out.
No, and there's always like people in your life who like you might have wronged that are looking for their 2 seconds of fame.
It's so crazy.
Yeah.
I could never be one of these people on Love is Blind like every single season. I feel like the formula for Love is Blind is as follows. You need a good villain.
Absolutely.
And I don't mean like
a
Dave.
Jessica.
You need or like a Bartice, a Shake.
Yeah, a shake. He was wild.
You also need a love triangle, like I said, that makes it to Mexico. I need mess in Mexico or Honduras or wherever the hell they were at. Like the fact that they had a segment where they were genuinely all the guys sitting talking about how much they actually like their women. Oh my God,
she needs toxicity. She doesn't want to see happy relationships.
Thirdly, you need a viral moment. Yeah. Like the Megan Fox moment.
Oh my God.
No, that was like, that took the internet by storm. Or like Irina like calling Zach ugly or whatever, you know, like you need that. Like this season isn't giving.
No, it's not. And like you truly are the expert because I know how much you love and watch reality TV. So like, take Wiza's words seriously. She knows you should go be a producer, honestly.
You know how everyone knows that like how Love is Blind is filmed a year before it actually airs. Like everyone pretty much knows that now. I would like the purpose of that buffer to be if they produce a shit season like this, then they can just throw it in the bin and then they'll have like 6 months or so to like produce something better because this is insufferable.
Oh, that would be great. I feel like that about I didn't love the last season either. And I think, like we said, I was really spiteful about Leo and Brittany. So like, honestly, like it's been steady going downhill for me, Love is Blind, but I don't know. We'll see.
You know what they need?
What?
Fourth thing. They actually need to make the contestants like kind of ugly.
Oh, that would be tea.
Do you know what I'm saying? Like the
That would be
fact that
tea.
they're all like basic and normal,
Yeah.
like it just doesn't make it like, okay, we get it. Love isn't blind. So now put some people in there that are actually
Yeah.
going to test the theory, because this is just like the fact that Dave was choosing between like Lauren and Molly. Like, who cares? Like they're both just like basic girlies. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. Like it needs a revamp.
It does for sure. You know, they did pop off with the music though. Did you? I don't know what type of budget they got, but
when they started playing Boys to Men, I was like, pop off. Love is Blind.
you know what's been like really crazy lately?
What?
Is like the number of plane crashes that have
Oh
been
my
happening in the
God.
States.
Hello, can we talk about it?
Yeah.
What is happening?
I don't know. And like apparently there's been like no plane crashes in the last 16 years, but now
Well, commercial for sure.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
That's no, the one that actually like gagged me was the one where there was a mid-air collision.
That's so scary.
That on a commercial flight,
Yeah.
that's actually so I feel like for a mid-air collision to happen, like there has to be at least like 17 people that just are paying zero attention or something
sure.
between like pilots, co-pilots,
Absolutely.
air traffic controllers or whatever. Like that's my worst fear is dying in a plane crash. Like for sure, I feel like that'd be the worst way to die.
It has to be so scary because like you have that time where you're just like going down and like you're feeling the force and you're like panicking because like you know if you're getting into a plane crash, like your chances of making it are like very slim. And if you do make it, you like end up being just a burn victim. Like it's just there's no good way that ends. Like,
Well, the one in Toronto where it flipped upside down.
the TikToks on that are so funny.
What do you
I'm
mean?
so sorry. Well, no one was injured, so we're allowed
funny.
to talk about it.
Yeah, for
but like, have you not seen the TikToks where they flip it upside down and they're like what it looked like landing?
No.
And then it's like the whole like imagine the sky like upside down. But
Oh
like
my
the
God.
tarmac's up here and then the sky's down here.
That's
They're like
so
the view
scary.
landing.
The fact that those passengers got offered $30,000 is like literally a slap in the face. Like,
Yeah, for the scariest like moment of your life.
I keep watching interviews of the survivors, and the general consensus is definitely like it just happened so fast.
Yeah.
So like that's like, you know, if I were to die in a plane crash, I guess like the fact that it happened so instant is like a
Yeah.
little bit of a I was about to say lifesaver.
Oh my God.
Do you know what I'm trying to say? Like it makes it a little better.
Well, it's a quick death, but I think the panic like is still okay. But like
The
I think it
panic is
depends
where-
on
Yeah.
the crash. Like
For
if you're
sure.
falling from like high and you got that time, like that's
Nah.
mortifying.
I'm dying.
Yeah.
I'm dying. If I know I'm going down, oh my God, I would die of a heart attack
That's
before
what I'm
the
saying. Yeah,
plane
I
actually
would
killed me.
definitely die of a heart attack
Like,
before.
Not a chance. So
Yeah. No, and I bring it up because like Ryan flew to Dallas last week for like that big real estate mastermind. And like I was so scared. Like
Yeah.
I'd never opened Flight Tracker, but I was like tracking his flights and I
Yeah,
was
no
like,
kidding.
I don't want to be a single dog mom. Like I cannot be like
I heard that it's just being reported more now though
That
in
could
the
be it.
media.
Yeah, that could be
probably.
it.
But like, you know, what like this is just the fact that Trump too went on a press conference and was just like, "What do you want me to go swimming?" Like, yeah, bitch, I do. Wash off your stupid tan while you're at
Oh
it.
my God. Mr. Carrot. Mr. Carrot.
Stop. Remember that one time where you started a fire in your condo?
That was the scariest moment of my life. Don't downplay it. I'm going to tell this story really quick.
Okay, pop off.
I've never experienced a grease fire before, but I decided to make burgers, and burgers are my favorite food, which will forever be ruined now. But I was flipping them on the pan, and I took the spatula and I pressed down. Next thing I know, I have a gas stove for reference. My entire pan was engulfed in flames. And like for a second, like, you know, when the flame like bursts out, I watched it, like it was so big that it like went over my microwave. It went over like a portion of my cabinets. And Ryan was gaming and he was like, we have like a den in our place, you know? So he saw this like bright flash of like orange. Like that's how big the flame was. Like it basically like added light to our apartment.
That's so terrifying.
So I'm just thinking, and this is me being such a realtor, I'm like resale value on like my cabinets.
No, absolutely.
I grab the pan with no like thought or like no process on how I'm gonna like let this fire go out, right? So I'm just running around like holding this pan. I am screaming for Ryan at the top of my lungs, but he is not coming. Like his game is more important than the fact that I just started a freaking fire. And all I was thinking is like, I remember grade 8 foods class, right? When they teach you about grease fires. I was like, how are you supposed to get rid of a grease fire?
Not
How are
with
you
water.
supposed to get rid of it? That's all I could remember, is that you don't use water to get rid of a grease fire. But I couldn't remember how to actually get it out. And keep in mind, like, I have the pan in my hand and I'm just running around with the pan in my hand. Anyways, I guess it like burned through the oil, like the fuel source, and the fire just put itself out. Thank God. But it was, I don't think I could make burgers at home ever again.
I honestly don't even know how you're here today.
I don't either.
If I started a fire in my precious, incredible, perfect, and stunning, incredible condo, I just have no idea what I would do.
Yeah.
Which actually,
save the cabinets. You would have thought the same thing as me.
100%. I'm not even kidding. Like when you said that, I was like,
fire,
absolutely.
save the cabinets.
100%. Thing is, so ever since Nada did that to her kitchen,
my kitchen's fine, by the way, but just the experience.
Just the experience. I have a gas stove too, and now every time I cook, I'm not gonna lie, like it comes with a lot of anxiety because I'm just honestly like, well, girl has to eat, but every single time I flicker that on, it's a little bit of stress for sure.
Well, she called me yesterday because she was boiling potatoes. I was. And the water was kind of pouring over a little bit.
And you know how when the water pours onto a flame, it like makes the flame bigger for a bit? A sec. So that just scared me.
I had to calm her down. I was like, Wiza, if I can still cook after what happened to me,
no, for real.
You can make it.
Like, shout out to gas stoves for sure, but like at the same time, like they're just kind of freaky deaky. Like the fact that there's like a flame.
It's just not, because first of all, they're a pain in the ass to clean.
They are. No, for sure.
I hate removing the freaking grills and then having to clean it.
Yeah.
And then the other thing is, like, apparently it's not that good for you because like the gas,
my God.
like even though it's like getting burnt up, like just breathing it in general is not like right. But
my food tastes proper.
I mean, it boils out water like that.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm not waiting long for my shit to heat up. That's for sure. Like,
do you want to know something stressful that happened in my condo?
What?
Well, you already know, but for the viewers,
I can't remember.
I'm getting a special assessment.
Fuck.
So, okay, for those of you who don't know what a special assessment is, whenever you buy a condo, you are the owner of that unit, and there are other owners of the other units in a condo building. All of you collectively make up what's called the condo board, and all of you pay into condo fees, and some of those fees always get distributed into what's called a reserve fund. So every single condo has to have a reserve fund, which is just a pile of money basically that is reserved and set aside for any like major repairs or any like unexpected costs that arise. Sometimes that reserve fund won't have enough money in it if there is something big that's unexpected that arises, or, you know, they misbudgeted for something or whatever. And the reserve fund will have a shortfall of an X amount of money that the unit owners will all have to collectively make up with what's called a special assessment. So you'll get something in the mail just being like, we need $12,000 each. No, I'm kidding. Well, it's there's more that goes into it. Sometimes the special assessment it's cute, like it's like a little $300, whatever. And sometimes it's a little heftier. This one I think is going to be a heftier one. So I didn't actually get a special assessment yet, but they did give us like a heads up that there's $4 million shortfall for like an unexpected exterior work that they like were doing or something.
Like, did they coat the place in diamonds?
No, for
like,
real.
I'm so sorry.
This shit I better
Your
have a
place isn't even
platinum
that
exterior.
old. Yeah, like,
actually though. So they basically levy it out to the unit owners depending on like how much square footage is in the building. Like I won't owe as much as the, you know, person who owns the penthouse, you know, but whatever. Anyways, yeah, that happened.
That's so tragic for you.
Special assessments are definitely a risk. But I mean, if you think about it, like if you own a house and you had to repair something that's worth thousands of dollars, you're on your own there too. So it's just kind of like whatever.
It's true. And like in my time as a realtor, like there's so many people who like are on tight budgets and they're like, I hate condo fees. But I think like if you actually math it out with like the amount of maintenance and everything you need to do in a home, it comes out like pretty equal proportionately to like obviously the size of your unit.
Yeah.
But like not even that, the only thing you're really paying extra is like management fees on top. So like if you're someone who like doesn't want to do a lot of maintenance, like it's not like your condo fees are just going towards nothing.
Yeah, exactly. Like that's just I'm just a girly, you know. Like I don't want to mow a lawn, so like
It's true.
as long as that's what the case is, I will be owning a condo.
Yeah. Clients also want to get like the lowest condo fees possible, but like that's also not a great thing because when you have really low condo fees, it actually could be a sign that the condo is under budgeted currently as is.
It's kind of a red flag, actually.
Yeah, it is kind of a red flag. And then the other thing too is like you also don't want condo fees that are too high because that's a sign that something happened in the past that they're still dealing with. So like the most ideal condo fee that you want to have is like smack dab in the middle. And then also I get clients that ask me sometimes if their condo fees will go down. Well, like that's not a thing because they usually go up each year with inflation, and that's what you want. Like that's the sign of a healthy condo that's like continuously budgeting properly. So like you want to see at least a 1 to 3% increase every single year, and that's normal.
Completely normal.
Yeah.
With condo fees being too high, being too low, there's definitely a sweet spot for every single condo, depending on like things like square footage,
Definitely.
the amenities in the condo building. Like everything is very dependent. So when you work with us, we'll let you know definitely like what is the sweet spot that you would want to see in terms of like condo fees and stuff. But yes, too low, not a good thing.
Yeah.
Too high, not a good thing. There's a sweet spot.
Always. Yeah.
Think about it like this, like, right? If you, especially if you're buying like a resale condo, this is not the case for new build condos. I actually think buying new build condos is kind of silly.
Agreed.
Depending, always. But anyways, if you buy a condo that's like 10 years old or 15 years old, 30 years old, imagine taking possession of a house, just a regular house, and the client or the homeowner before you leaving a check on the island for 40 grand for future repairs.
Yeah.
Like, just here you go, like just in case something happens. That's what buying a condo basically is, because when you think about it, when you buy into a condo, all of the previous unit owners who have been paying condo fees up until then have basically paid for your repairs for you.
Like they made the reserve fund. Like
Totally.
What it is.
Like they literally built that reserve fund brick by brick, and now you're just taking over.
Truly.
So I actually always advise clients buy condos that have been built for at least like 10 years.
I totally agree with that because like if you compare the risk, right? Like say you were to get a special assessment and like say you had a new build where your condo fees are really low because they haven't had to budget for anything really yet, but like versus you have one with like a really nice juicy reserve fund. Like if you get a special assessment on an older one, it's probably going to be lower than the newer one because they have no budget for anything like that.
Yeah.
And like you never know what could happen, right? So
No,
like,
totally.
Yeah.
And by the way, buying an older condo doesn't alleviate the risk of like getting a special assessment. Look at me.
Yeah.
But, R.I.P. But that's where getting like a condo document review is just like you must get a condo document review before buying a condo, and we'll always make sure that you get one before actually committing to the purchase. So we work with a condo document reviewer who is probably the most qualified condo document reviewer in Calgary, just because he actually owns Catalyst, which is a condo management company.
And
he does this for real. Like he just
So it's not even like he just like did a course, got a license, and then now he reviews condo docs. It's like he actually has a background in this. He has his own management company, and he knows the condo documents like to a T. That's basically
he knows exactly what to look for. He has skin in the game. He does it like every single day. He deals with condo stuff. So
no, truly the most qualified person that
I've learned so much from him too.
Yeah,
it's so crazy. We should have him on the podcast.
I think we need to have him on the podcast because
write that down.
He's a great personality too.
Yeah.
So as many of you know, based on our previous podcasts, I am switching to becoming a mortgage broker right now. Still have my real estate license, still going to hold that. But now I'm kind of like settled with like everything I need and like the team I'm on. And so I'm working on my very first mortgage deal right now, my very first live deal.
Woo!
So we're in our conditionary period right now.
She's a mortgage broker. She's a mortgage broker, y'all.
I must say, like, it is exhilarating. Like, I feel like I was kind of made for this in a way.
For sure. It's going swimmingly, isn't it?
It is.
Your first deal?
And I think, and it's one of my old clients that I passed off to Ryan. So like I have a reputation with them too. So like, even though I am a new mortgage broker, like they trust me because of how well I did know the real estate side. And it is like, I feel like after like being a realtor for a little bit of time, like it kind of gets exhausting where like once you know what you're doing, like you're doing the same thing over and over again, you're kind of having the same conversations over and over again versus like what I like about mortgages is that people have such unique, such complex situations. It like depends on the property they're getting, like what type of income they have, like whether it's going to be like primary or like rental or like if they're outside the province. There's so many different factors to consider. So it's like, it's really like a continuous learning thing.
Yeah, which you love.
I just love, I eat it up.
That's the other thing about Nada. Another thing that we have in common, we really love like figuring shit out. Like a complex situation is my situation.
For sure.
And she's just really, I knew you'd be a killer mortgage broker the second that you wanted to be, just because you, first of all, you don't let a deal die.
Never.
You will literally go into the grave before actually like sending a non-waiver. I know this about you.
Absolutely.
And you're very competitive.
Extremely
competitive. And you just look for what can get done. Like if you come to us and you're just like, hey, I want to buy a house. We look at not me, you at this point, you're the mortgage broker, but you look at the documents and maybe you're not there right this second. We will never just be like, oh, okay, sorry, no, you can't buy. You're not a candidate for buying.
Yeah.
At the very least, we'll put you on a path to get there. If that truly is your goal, like we'll we'll tell you what it takes to get there.
Yeah.
Hey, you just bought a car, maybe sell it. You maybe put it in someone else's name.
Yeah.
Hey, you don't qualify for what you need, but maybe, if you buy a legal suite, then you can offset your mortgage payments by having rental income.
Exactly.
Hey, maybe whatever it is. Like we love a loophole.
Oh, big time. Yeah. And like I've done a lot of the loopholes myself and done some, because I got my first property when I was 21. So I was like a little baby. And like it's like buying property in Canada is so hard. So like even us, for example, like we had to get a suited property. We had to rental offset the income.
Yeah.
And then even like 20% down, like that was its own challenge too. So like we made everything happen.
Figured it out.
I want to do that for other people too, because I am the biggest advocate of if there is a will,
there is a way. Motherfucking way.
And we will find it.
Absolutely.
You are getting that house.
No, for sure. Like if that's your goal, again, like if you're not willing to do the things that could put you in a better position for your future, like that's your decision. But
we just advise.
We'll tell you.
Yeah, we advise.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
We'll give you the options. We'll give you like the most creative options too that other people wouldn't think about. And I think my goal with it too is like being on the real estate side. You can speak to this too, but being on the real estate side, there's so many times where mortgage brokers like kind of leave you in the dark. Like you kind of like have a rough idea of like what's going on, but you don't really understand like different, because when you're a realtor, you're the first line, right? So like before they even get sent to a mortgage broker, they'll tell you about their situation. They'll be like, this is what's going on with me. Can I buy? Like, can I do this? Can I do that? Most realtors won't know how to answer those questions. They'll just be
talk
like,
to your mortgage broker.
Talk to your mortgage broker, right? But like if you can kind of vet your clients that way and like actually just have like a general like kind of fundamental understanding of like what it is that I actually do and like what my process looks like, I feel like that helps a realtor's business
100%.
so much as well.
I hate when I am left in the dark via mortgage broker. This is another reason why I really like when clients come to you and they use like your network of people. Definitely. Because it really is just referrals at the end of the day. Like you can use whoever you want, but this is who I refer because I've worked with them multiple times and I know exactly what their skill set is and who they like, how they work, like a deal goes 10 million times smoother when a client just uses your lawyer, your mortgage broker, your home inspector, whatever it takes to get a deal done, right? And, you know, not to say that I can't work with anyone that you want to work with or whatever, but I'm just saying, like, I have no idea who that person is. I have no idea how well they're representing you during the biggest purchase of your probably life. So it is just nice to, you know, be a part of a team that has like in-house mortgage brokers, in-house lawyers, all of the things that we're able to just walk across the hall and be like, hey, how's my client's deal going? Like, you know,
without a doubt,
it changed. It's a world of a difference.
Well, even like for like the client as well, like, yeah, you can go and like outsource your own people, but like, again, you don't know those people. You don't know their quality of work.
Unless you do, like, unless you know, you want to use your
of course.
cousin who's a mortgage broker. I don't give a shit. I'm just saying, like, you know, if you come to me and you genuinely don't know anybody, let me help you. Like, don't like go and like fish out your own because it's just kind of like, you just don't know you just don't know them.
And it's a communication thing too, right? Is like sometimes we'll have like clients who work with like other mortgage brokers.
Yeah.
And then even just trying to get an update on the file and like, say for example, like we do need an extension and we do need to extend conditions, right? If they're not communicating with me and they're not telling me in advance, and then I call the realtor who I'm doing the deal with last minute, I'm like, hey, we need an extension. They're going to be like, why didn't we deal with this like sooner?
Yeah.
Like, why didn't we figure this out?
Now the other realtor's mad at me, and I'm like, dude, I didn't know because the mortgage broker doesn't talk to me,
and then it's just
a bad luck, you know. So who you work with matters. Just that's all I'm gonna say.
It does for sure. Yeah. So I'm really excited. I really like where I'm at. I've already learned so much, and I think being like a realtor previous gives me such a and also like just having properties and being through that myself so many times, because I've done a lot of creative stuff too.
Yeah, you're an investor as it is. So it's just like being on the mortgage side now is just it's just easy to be honest.
It's a competitive advantage, right? Like if anything happens with an appraisal, like I can go fight an appraiser for you because I know how to comp out properties. Like I know what to look out for just from like, my thing is that like I love knowing what's going on. So like, even when I was a realtor, the reason I loved my mortgage broker as a realtor is because her communication was so good. She was so hands-on with like letting me know everything and like all the complexities that were going on.
And you were interested in actually learning about it.
I was really interested in learning about it.
Yeah, that sets you apart for real.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Honestly, don't know why I chose becoming a realtor in the first place over a mortgage broker. You know what I think it was though? Like, you know, like during COVID, I feel like because we were inside so much, I developed such a crazy social anxiety. And like my mind is like, I hate having stuff like that. So like, I was like, I'm just going to become a realtor, force myself to talk, because I'm an introvert. Yeah. I was like, I'm going to become a realtor, force myself to talk to people, and I'll get over it. And that's what happened. Kinda. But like...
now you're back in your little bubble.
Now it's been a little too much.
Yeah. You're like, I'm over this. Yeah. Back to being cooped up.
Yeah. Just like with my family and stuff too. Like I'd like to have a little more like when you're a realtor, you have to be so in person all the time. Like I'd like to have a little bit more of like a work from home situation so I can go see my family more. Like I can just have more freedoms in general. Yeah. So I think it's good. I'm excited.
No, period.
Super excited.
Yeah. You're already smashing it.
Should we talk about like what's happening in the real estate market?
Well, I don't even like what's new. Like there's literally like I feel like we've been talking about tariffs and we've been talking about the market for like the past 3 honestly, like what's new?
No, and it's like we've just been like dangling by a thread from like Trump's word, just waiting and waiting to like understand what's gonna happen.
Oh my god, I hate dangling by threads.
No, it sucks like being in this place of like just literally, and I hate this word
uncertainty.
Uncertainty.
It's the worst.
God.
For the last couple years in a row, like few years in a row, honestly, we were able to pretty confidently predict where the market was going to go. All the signs were there. It's not hard to kind of like predict, like based on what the trends are, right? And what history has sort of shown us or whatever. I have no idea what's going to happen tomorrow. Like, and it's definitely affecting the real estate market in a way where listings are sitting a lot longer than they were years past. But I think it's also just a product of buyers can sense when there's urgency, and there's not as much urgency right now, so they're definitely taking a little bit more time to make a decision, which is great for buyers.
Absolutely
outstanding. Like if I were a buyer
better than
right
it
now,
was before. Like,
oh my god, like before I would be in a showing and I'd be like, so do you want this house, because I'm gonna have to make you an offer literally in this kitchen. What's tea? So that's a good thing that buyers are having a little bit more time to make a decision, and but But it's definitely a peculiar market for sure. I think in the long run it's going to be up from here for Alberta and Calgary specifically. Yeah. But you know, there's always little micro moments of like weirdness in real estate. So
yeah, we just truly, I can't even say the word tariff again, or I just can't. It's so ridiculous. It's so ridiculous to even just like leave us like dangling there, like not knowing what's going on, and like everyone's just all over the place.
Remember when I saw a headline being like Trump postpones tariffs until like fucking like April or something like that? Like, it's the fact that I can honestly read any headline about Trump and it can be so outlandish and I'll believe it, even if it's true. Like a, you know, meme, because it's just, he's so outlandish.
He is. No, he's so unpredictable. I saw like that clip of his meeting with Zelensky.
Oh yeah. Remember when they said women were too emotional?
Oh yeah. Men forget that anger is an emotion. Like, how do we tell them that?
Tone it down. So crazy.
I hate the instability. I hate like not knowing. Like,
yeah, me too.
Yeah, but I mean, I guess we'll wait it out and we'll see.
I guess we'll wait it out. Because that's
all we can do. Do you have any plans for like the summer yet? Because I'm so excited.
Oh, no, but I actually do. I have one plan. I'm going to revamp my balcony. So the condo that I live in, one of the perks about it is that the balcony is fucking massive.
Yeah.
Like it just is a huge balcony. So I'm really going to like do like a home makeover on my balcony. It's going to be sick. We're going to spend a lot of time on it. Like just like vibing.
I'm so sorry. But like I take my dog for walks and like I look up at those beautifully decorated balconies.
I know, right?
That's how you know that you have made it in life.
Yeah, no, for sure.
If you decorate your balcony like that.
Like greenery and shit like that. Like not just like 2 lawn chairs or whatever, like you.
No. So listen. I have like a problem. I don't know. Like it's really a delayed gratification problem. Like, you know how people like love buying stuff like right away as soon as they see it? I'll like wait years to do it.
Nada will buy 17 properties and not decorate them for years.
I love that you bring up that you have a huge balcony because I have one too. And that is part of the reason that I got my condo.
It's so good.
It's just like the vibiest thing ever.
It is the life. Before I got this condo, do you remember when I had an irrational obsession with the keynote?
When she says irrational, she means irrational. Okay. I don't know what it, and I don't know what it was either. I couldn't get it through her head that it was like nothing special. Like
the keynote is just this like building downtown. It looks like a tall skyscraper, and for some reason I was just so like genuinely obsessed with it, and I was just like, I'm gonna live there. Like I'm gonna find a unit there.
Yeah.
I don't know like what I was so obsessed with.
Well, like it is really nice, but like compared to like you weren't even open to other options.
I know.
Like, you know, like
I know.
It's not a girly condo. Like everything's kind of like the doors are gray. Like you have those like industrial pillars everywhere. Like I
have no idea what I was so upset. You know, when you like date a guy and then you date the next guy and he's like 100 times better. Like,
and then you just realize.
You're like, what was I had no idea what I was reeling over. The reason I bring that up is because their balconies are so small and unfunctional. So that's another reason why I'm really happy that I moved on.
You can't even fit like 2 people on that balcony.
No, for
They're
real.
like the little triangle ones.
They're like, here's a gas line. Where's my barbecue gonna go?
You can't even, no. They have like some layouts that are really great, but like besides that, majority of the balconies are just these tiny triangles that you couldn't even fit 2 people on.
I mean, shout out to the keynote, no hate, but I just like now that I live where I live, I'm like I couldn't imagine being anywhere else. Like oh my God.
And there's a demographic for the keynote for sure.
Absolutely.
The best thing that it has to offer, well, because I guess the thing is like right below the keynote, you have access to Centera, which is really good. You're really good close to the Stampede grounds. So, like if you love that sort of stuff, it's great.
Yeah.
And then the best thing for sure, in my opinion, is like it's one of the only condo buildings that has like a full out like gym, and I mean like the weights go really heavy. So like if you are a muscular dude, it's a great place for you.
Me and Nada literally like between you buying your condo downtown, me buying my condo downtown, us having several clients that have bought in downtown and like exhausted everything. I swear to God, dude, I know everything there is to know about downtown Calgary condos. Like if you need to buy a condo, like I'm literally your girl. Like I can almost tell you like what's going on everywhere.
Yeah. That's literally how I mark where I am downtown, is like based on the building.
Yeah.
I'll be like, there's Allura, like there's Mark on 10th. Like that's how I know where I am downtown.
Yeah, I've done a showing here 7 times.
Yeah, literally. Yeah. I can tell you all the problems. For real. No, but I'm like really happy that you got the place you did, because now we're closer.
Oh my God.
We're both by the river.
For real.
It's just perfect.
I'm telling you, that walk that we did, it was just so iconic. Like, I don't know.
So
like, there was just something about like walking down the river, going to the river cafe, getting a coffee, walking to the Peace Bridge.
I tried to convince you, like, hot girl walks are the shit. They truly are.
No, really.
It's just such a vibe.
Yeah. Thank you so much for listening. Next time you see us, we are going to be having a guest on.
Yeah.
We are going to be having the one and only Sean Getty. Whether he likes it or not, he is going to be here in studio, so you can have another fresh face to look at.
Absolutely.
And we will see you next time on Two Keys and a Pod.
Cass.